Okay.
Plus we have things called pies, Scotch pies, sausage rolls, bridies, they're really good. And if you're in places like Aberdeen, they have a thing called a smoky. That's a smoked fish, smoked haddock.
Oh, a smoky is a smoked fish?
Yeah, you eat it cold and it's really nice.
Okay, all right. We're willing to try anything. Okay, let's talk about the countryside is littered in the sense of with castles and even castles that haven't been rebuilt.
Yeah, it's ruins.
They're just the ruins, yeah. And so, in your view, if you were going to advise a group, what are the places and the castles that we definitely should see that you would think of?
Well, I would advise Edinburgh Castle.
Definitely Edinburgh Castle.
It's beautifully maintained. Holyrood Castle in Edinburgh too. And there's so many castles, ruins, but they're all protected by the National Trust.
Okay, so
they
it's like our national park system almost.
So they are maintained to a degree.
Okay.
But they're all over Scotland.
So go everywhere to all the castles.
Yeah.
All right. You talked about in the northern part, in the Highlands, that they have a little bit of a different sound.
It's a bit softer, yeah.
A little softer. And your sound that you're speaking now would be more, guttural?
More guttural, yeah.
And, okay. And I think that's important for us to kind of understand when we're looking at the different accents
Plus
and
we have
dialects
so much slang
within
too.
the United States. Yeah. Well, we have our own versions of that. So if you would think of some slang words that we might hear, what would those be?
It's going to rain. Am I right or am I wrong? It's going to rain. Am I right or am I wrong? That's quite good.
Okay, so I'm going to have to practice these. We're going to write them down. If you're going to advise Americans for shopping, what are things that would be truly Scottish for them to look for to bring back?
You have the tourist trade that caters woolen mills. That's mainly woolen clothes.
Oh, okay. Anything
you have
woolen
mills all over.
The woolen mills. Was just trying to think of some other things that I would be interested in. Oh, tell us a little bit about the tartan and the kilt. I mean, I know that you have a kilt. You didn't choose to wear it today. That's okay, but it's clannish. You need to talk about the clans for us.
The kilt is usually unique to various families. The different colours, the checks, the prints. So I'm a Morrison, so I have my own tartan.
So the Morrisons have their own tartan.
Yeah.
So it's your family or
McLeods have tartans,
your clan.
Andersons have tartans. They're all.
What are your colours?
There's a lot of. You've got me struggling here. Greens and yellows, I believe.
Greens and yellows.
See, as a Lowland Scot, I've never really worn tartan until I joined the band that I came to America in.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more.
So the Lowland Scots. So the Highlanders would be more likely to wear their tartans.
For formal gatherings,
For formal gatherings.
For everyday wear, it's pretty much the way I'm dressed now.
So, so you do have your own that you do wear when you're playing with the band. You have your own family colors.
Mm-hmm.
So all Morrisons, no matter where they are in Scotland, would wear the same colors, or no?
There's different branches. There's a Catholic branch of the Morrison family too.
Oh, the Catholic branch is different.
They would perhaps have a different.
Okay. Different colors.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can think of the place in Scotland that you would most wish that people would visit.
It would have to be Iona.
Iona?
Yeah.
And where is that?
Can I move this round?
Sure.
I would go to Oban, then we get a ferry from Oban to Mull.
Okay. So if we're looking at it this way.
Okay, this is Mull, and this is probably Iona here. You would get a ferry from the mainland, which is Oban here.
So it's part of the Inner Hebrides?
Yeah. Then you would travel across this island, Mull, by bus usually, then another boat across here. And it's tiny, it's about 3 miles in circumference. But there's a monastery there. There's
a monastery's there?
Where St. Columba came and
Okay.
established Christianity.
let's talk about your poet laureate,
Robert Burns.
Robert Burns. And he actually became more famous after he died,
Yeah,
interestingly enough. And in your country, there's something called the Burns Supper. The Burns Supper celebrates his birthday.
His birthday
And
his
he's
wife.
a little bit, I think, like our Mark Twain. And I'm going to let you recite a little bit of his most famous narrative poem,
Tam O'Shanter.
Tam O'Shanter. Tam O'Shanter.
Really
right?
just means Thomas of Shanter Farm.
Thomas O'Shanter. Okay.
Yeah.
If you would just, it's a very long poem, and I know that you know every verse, and it takes every bit of
So
probably
15 minutes.
15 minutes to say. But if you would, so people can get a feel of it. And wait, and in my interpretation, it's about a man who goes to a pub, and his wife told
For
him
about
not
3
to.
months.
For 3 months?
Thereabouts, yeah.
And
No half measures.
so he spent 3 months
In
in
a
a
pub.
and by the time he left the pub,
It was autumn.
it was autumn, and where he ran into basically the devil and some witches
Yeah, having a party.
having a party, and where he threw out the term Cutty Sark,
Well
which
done. Just
well
means
done Cutty Sark, which means
Well done, short-skirted dancer.
one of the witches pulled up her skirt, and and because of that comment, he was chased over a bridge, right?
He got over the bridge. He got past
He
the
got-
keystone.
Okay, and everyone knows that evil witches cannot
Cross a running
cross water. However, the key part of this poem is his horse's tail
Yeah.
didn't make it over the bridge. The
They
witch
grabbed
was
it by the tail.
able to grab the tail and pull it off the horse.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's hear a little bit about how that sounds.
Okay. When Chap and Billy's leave the street, and Ruthie neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy and getting food and go happy, we think in the lang Scots miles, the mosses, water, slaps and styles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky sullen dame, gathering our brows like gathering storm, nursing our wrath to keep it warm. This truth fan known as Tam O'Shanter, as he frae airy night did canter, all dare wham near a town surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. Oh, Tam has never been so wise as ta'en aye in wife Kate's advice. She told the wheel there was a scale a blethering, blustering, drunken blale
And that was actually a very good example of Scots English.
Yeah,
right?
aye.
He wasn't actually speaking in Gaelic or
No, it
anything.
was,
So it'll be quite an interesting.
And some of those words still survive to this day. They're still in use.
And if we played it in slow motion, we could probably identify what those words were. And
Some, yeah. I don't know what blether and bluster and drunken blelum means.
yeah, Blair and Bluster. Okay.
Aye, it was
All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking time today to come and
my
visit with
pleasure.
us. And I think we've covered St. Andrews
Yeah.
because the flag is connected with St. Andrews. We've covered the poet laureate, Robert Burns. We've talked a lot about the country of Scotland, the money, the kinds of money exchange you have there,
Food.
the food, the culture, the sound.
Yeah.
And so I think that the people who decide to join us on our travels as we experience the adventure of Scotland will be pleased and should probably bring a camera, wouldn't you say?
It'd be the experience of a lifetime.
The experience of a lifetime, I'm hoping, yes. So thank you very much,
You're very
and
welcome.
thank you.